YouTube, how y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Today is a beautiful day to be on God's great earth, God's green earth. Today is day 3 of the new year, and I feel great. I feel good. I am officially, I think I'm like 56 hours in to my water fast only. And you know, it's weird because I've been contemplating so much, having this internal dialogue with myself as to should I stop? I do feel like I am gaining a sense of clarity to some degree. I do feel like I am having a level of discernment that I never have experienced before. I'm not hungry at all. We were up here at my in-laws last night, and they made homemade pizza, and it looked really good. But this new year I'm starting off my year going raw vegan. Something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I had all these thoughts of, I could break my fast and eat some. They did make a veggie pizza just in case if I did want some, but I was like, no, I'm good because I don't want to eat dairy no more. But you got to constantly remind yourself how powerful you are. My willpower is way stronger right now. I'm like having a sparring match in my head. The good versus the evil. Got the devil on the right shoulder, the angel on the left shoulder. And it's like, oh, you could do this. You don't need to do that. You already went 48 hours. Just break your fast. I'm trying to go through the fire so I can come out refined. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about breaking my fast later today with some berries, maybe a smoothie. And I'm about to embark on the year of going raw vegan. I'm putting it out there into the atmosphere because I want it to happen. And it's going to happen. I believe in it. My mind is clear. I'm at peace right now because I can hear myself think. Like, for the first time in a very long time, I'm like having internal dialogue with myself. And it's just like, a lot of people be like, oh, I'm having a conversation with God. You really having a conversation with yourself. If you're being honest with yourself. But that's just an update with that. What I wanted to talk about today was retirement. My subscriber commented on my video yesterday, and she was saying how the inspiration is there from my video, which I appreciate. Much love, sis. But she was saying how, basically, I'm paraphrasing, that she's preparing herself for retirement. So today I want to talk about retirement. What is that? What does that look like for the average person? Most people go throughout life not preparing for retirement. Most people work a job on one job for 20, 50, 60 years at one job, not contributing to a retirement plan and just living their life. Most people work many jobs and don't prepare for retirement. So my question is, what is retirement? We have this American dream that is being sold to us, but like, you work all your life to retire at 65. And like I said in the other video, by the time I get that age, it's probably going to be 85 is gonna be the new retirement age. I don't know. But it's crazy that you gotta work your whole entire life just to say, I'm free now. And I don't gotta work no more. You gotta have your heaven on earth in your latter years, your best years of your life. The truth of the matter is, most people die as soon as they stop working. They don't have anything to look forward to. Most people wait to retirement to get a second act, to really live their dreams. But it's like, that's crazy to me. Because why not take back your life right now? I'm not saying just jump out there and quit your job and start from day one and just figure it out. No, you should be making calculated steps as to how you're gonna obtain your exit plan. But to think that you wait 65 years to start whatever business you're trying to do. And then better yet, most people don't start anything because they don't know who they are. Their identity is tied to that job that they had. Their identity is tied to having that executive role or that manager or supervisor position. But once that's done, what do you got? You're stripped of your identity. And now you got to face who you are as a person and what you prepare yourself to be in your latter years. Most people can't do that. So then they turn to alcohol, substances, or better yet, their mental health spirals because they're not moving their body. Most people wake up, the people that I know, my elders, and it's no shade to them, I'm just calling it how I see it. They ain't got no motion in the world. You gotta have motion in this world. You got to. They wake up, eat breakfast, sit on the couch, watch their favorite shows, watch their favorite games. They don't read or they socialize. You know, most of them are on a fixed income. And it's just like, how are you surviving this way? And don't get me wrong, if that's your cup of tea, man, I'm not here to judge nobody, but like, I just want people to realize, like, think about all the things that we have on this God-green earth and we don't utilize them. Think about it for instance. I mean, there's people out there who are living until they call them centenarians, you know, 100 plus mark. And it's just like, how did you get here? Y'all go look up blue zones. Blue zones are areas where people live primarily on a plant-based diet. And they rarely eat meat, if ever. So, with that being said, you gotta ask yourself, how is it that these people live to 100 plus, but yet us in America, we only live, we'd be lucky if we get 71 years, 75 years. Most people die before that age. So you gotta ask yourself, what is it that we're doing here? You gotta ask yourself that. I think most people don't go anytime without asking themselves, the Matrix has us so boxed in that if you think about it, this is modern day slavery, y'all. Think about it for a second. We ain't out there picking cotton. And it's no longer black people. It's the whole entire human race. They got us slaves. The modern day plantation is the 9 to 5. And I'm still in the system. I'm not trying to make it seem like I got it all figured out. But I'm about to create my exit plan. And y'all gonna see, I'm building this brick by brick. You know, my exit plan will look like me. You know, I'm about to get into my juicing because I'm going raw vegan. I'm about to get into inspiring others to be the best version of themselves. I'm not saying you got to do what I do, but at least hear me out and make your own conscious decision. I'm not saying you got to be like me, but be the best version of yourself. Why can't you be living in retirement every day? Why can't you say, I retired my job and now I work for myself? Why can't retirement be like you being an entrepreneur and living out your wildest childhood dreams? Why can't that be retirement? Imagine if you worked so for instance, I'm about to be 35 in February. Imagine if for the next 35 years, I said to myself, I'm gonna retire my job and I'm going to work for myself. I'm gonna build my dream life. What does that look like? Maybe that's me starting a business. Maybe that's me buying some land. Maybe that's me living off the land. Maybe that's me going off grid. Maybe that's me waking up and doing anything that I want to do on this earth. Because everything on this earth is free. God put everything on this earth to be free to the human race. But man has to monetize everything. Man wants to monetize property, land. Man wants to monetize water. Man wants to monetize energy. Why do you don't think they don't like people going off grid? Tesla was about to give people free energy. And all of a sudden, they botched that idea. You gotta pay for an energy bill. That's wild to me. It's really wild to me. You gotta pay for water. That's wild to me. There's natural springs everywhere. I encourage everyone to go find a natural spring that's, near you. I think the website is Find My Spring or findaspring.com. It's something along. I don't really know the correct website. I just know I found me one, and I don't really go to the website anymore. I just go to one that's nearest to me. So, with that being said, start drinking natural water. Because the water that we have throughout the city has fluoride in it. And truth be told, you're calcifying your pineal gland. That's a whole different topic. I'm not going to go there today. But, hey, go figure out what that is. Do your own research. I'll make a video on all that later. I think if you put as much energy into creating your own life as you would working a job, how much further ahead will we be? The average person does not work out. You gotta wake up and move your body. I'm not saying you gotta be all jacked and you gotta look all muscular bodybuilding, because that's a stretch to me, Don't get me wrong, I respect those who has that discipline to be able to carve their body essentially the way that they want. And maybe I'll get there one day. But all I'm saying is you should be doing some form of exercise. Cardio, some lightweight training, some calisthenics. You should be doing all that. The human body was made to move. You got to think. Most people, the way of life is today in this modern century, is we're all sentient beings right now. Like, we don't move our bodies. We sit in front of the couch. We glued to the TV. We don't move our bodies. Most people work from home. Some people don't. Don't get me wrong. That's not everybody. But most people are just staying still. And not stillness to go within. They just still because they're lazy. And that's a problem. You got to think, before all this industrial complex was put together, we were hunter and gatherers. People would go days without eating. People would be traveling from east to west, north to south, vice versa. They didn't have to pay for water, energy, or property until the United States was created. And they did what they did to the indigenous people, which is crazy to me. That's another topic for another day. I just think that when you really search our history, and you go back down the timeline, it's crazy how we got here today. Don't get me wrong. I am grateful that I live in America because I could be in a third world country. I'm glad that I have my U.S. citizenship. However, though, I will say this place is fucked up. Excuse my language. But the U.S. is really fucked up. And I'm sure I would be saying the same thing elsewhere, but I'm pretty sure people in Africa have more freedom than people here in America. I encourage everybody to pick up a book and start doing your research. And start to form your own opinion. Don't just go off what I'm saying. You do your own research. Because you're entitled to it. We are living in the age of Aquarius. It's the information age. Everything is at our fingertips. This little computer that I'm on right now, you can do anything. Matter of fact, most people do everything off their phone anyway. People don't even use desktop computers anymore. Most people just have like most companies are just having their employees have, a monitor in a docking station. So computer sales are down across the board. You got everything in your hands with this little device. What are you doing with it? It's called a smartphone, people. You should be able to make money off this joint with ease. Why you ain't doing it? You can't say, I don't know how to work this. You know, it's sad, man. I watched my grandma, who's like 80 something. I love my granny to death. She's just stuck in her ways and she don't want to think different. She's probably on the tail end of her life. She knows it. She smoked cigarettes. She had cancer, beat cancer twice. She still eats like she's a young lady, and her bowels can't take it. She's had surgery, chemo, everything, and pretty much she's just like on her last leg. She can't hardly get up. She's not bedbound, but she just stays on the couch. And I'm watching somebody who didn't really prepare for the end. She retired. Exactly what this theme is about. She retired. She's a school teacher. She had a good life. Her husband has been dead now for about, my grandpa passed away probably, that had to have been maybe 2014. So almost like 11 years. Going on 12 years, actually. So he left her a decent, a modest-sized retirement package. She had a pension plan that's probably ran out from, the local school district where she worked at. So now she's living with my parents. And that's just another scenario that, it's you have multiple generations living within one, but, you know, my parents are still working. They're in their 60s, you know, and, you know, my young nieces and nephew live with them, but it's like, how do we prepare the next generation to be self-sufficient? My family look at me like I'm crazy, but they respect me though, also. 'Cause I'm thinking outside the box, man. My mind is no longer inside the box at all. Don't get me wrong, I still have tendencies and ways, but I'm trying to come out of that. I'm trying to create the best version of myself so that my daughters are well equipped. Me and my wife will be trying for another baby. If it's the grand architect's, you know, will. Hopefully I have a boy. I would love to have a son. And truth be told, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I have another girl, cause man, I need to balance out some of that feminine energy in the house. Need some more mass. I need a little dude on my team to help me out. And truth be told, I struggle with if I really want to have another kid. My wife wants to have more, but man, listen, in this economy, I don't know about all that. But here's the thing. I shouldn't have to base my decisions off of the economy. I should just be able to do what I want to do because I retired my job and I work for myself, right? Too many people are letting the worldly things dictate their life, letting the economy dictate their life, letting political parties dictate their life, letting religious groups dictate their life. I'm living on my own terms. Y'all excuse me, I got icicles on my mustache. And those ain't boogers, y'all. But essentially, all I'm saying is, why can't you do what you want to do in this lifetime? Why are you letting dogma cloud your judgment? And believe me, I'm not perfect. I grew up this way. People telling me what I had to be, what I had to do. And I don't knock them for it because that's what was told to them. But for me and mine, I'm more so on some stuff like, hey, I'm doing what I want to do. And can't nobody who gonna stop me, huh? Nobody. I'm me. I'm him. You got to believe in yourself. For the last 3 days since the new year started, I woke up every morning. My mantra is, I know what I want. I get what I want. I got what I want. I know it. Word to Brother Smart, that's where I got that from. And I've been saying that for like the last month. But I've been on and off with it, I ain't been consistent. But every day in 2026, I've been saying that right after my prayers. And right before I go to bed. And I've been starting to visualize, use my imagination of what my dream life would be like. It's crazy, on this fast, my dreams are like very vivid. I'm like, for the first time, able to recall my dreams. Which is crazy because I've often struggled. Like I'll go to sleep and not even remember what I dreamed about. And most people, whether they want to admit it or not, they're like that. They experience the same thing that I just, explained. Sometimes I dread going on my walks. I'm like, man, I gotta walk. I don't want to do this. But I'm keeping my word to myself. Here it is. This is my third video. And it just took me so long it's like, dude, the fear that we place on ourselves is crazy to me. We will allow fear to hold us back from earning $1 million. Earning $1 million is not hard. Don't get me wrong, the average person can't do it. But you know how many millionaires are made every day? I don't have the number, but I'm sure every day someone becomes a millionaire, whether it's net worth or liquid. First of all, you have to provide value. Right now, most of y'all are providing value through your time. You're selling your time to someone in exchange for money. I've been off for I worked New Year's Eve. I got off in the morning, and I drove to Michigan to meet back up with my wife. And I've been off for I go back to work on Monday, both jobs again. But I've been off for the last 5 days, or not the last 5, the total vacation for me was 5 days, just like a reset. And this has been the best insight and clarity that I could ever imagine, because I'm trying to create my escape plan. I'm trying to get off the plantation, boss, the asylum. I don't dread that I gotta work 2 jobs. I know it's my responsibility because I got bills to take care of. But also, in my every waking moment of free time that I have, I am trying to figure out what my passion is. I'm trying to discover that inner child dream that I once had. Because you have to provide value. I need to have a product to offer the world. I'm not trying to sell anything right away. Yeah, I could get up here and say, I know X, Y, and Z. I'm an expert on this. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and join my Patreon, my school community, and shop with me, support me. I'm not there yet. But I'm building something in real time to build community. For you to be like, man, I've been watching bro since the beginning. And to see where he is now, that's the inspiring aspect of what I'm trying to do. And I hope that you feel the same way. And that you do the same thing. That you experience retirement in your best years. And to the older people who do listen to my channel, your best years are ahead of you. Whether you're 65, 50, all I'm saying is it's never too late. You could start today by just taking a little time for yourself to figure out what do I like to do? Who am I without this job? What will my legacy be? What would I be known for? What am I passing off to my kids? Some of you may be selfish and be like, I ain't doing none of that. I got one life to live. And I'm going to do it, continue drinking, smoking, indulging in toxicity, lust. A lot of people are still operating from their lower nature. God wants you to transmute that energy and operate from your higher self. That's a fact. Our energy centers are clogged and bagged up. We got blockages. You got to change that, people. One step at a time. You need to change your diet. You need to get out and get some natural air, some sunlight. Yeah, you need to. Because when you do that consistently, your cells, your brain is going to start to change. You know, I didn't think I was going to make it to day 3, but I'm here. And yeah, I got all this willpower, and I have positive self-talk, but still, I am no different than anybody else. I have the internal dialogue struggle of the negative self-talk. Even though I say I'm powerful, I still struggle with the negative self-talk. Listen, take control of your life. Be accountable. Create that power list every day before you go to bed. Write down 5 things that you want to accomplish. If you win the day, You can win 2 days. You can win 3 days. If you win all those days in a row, you can win a week. If you win a week, you can start to win months. You win months, you start to win years. You start to win years, you start to win decades. Be only accountable to yourself. Check in with yourself. You check in at that job, you clock in, and you there on time. Why don't you be on time for yourself? Life is a video game, bro. And guess what? You the main character. Are you gonna die and come back to life? Or are you gonna live your best life? Start to manipulate the world to your benefit and your energy. All I know is we are one, people. I'm no different than y'all. I'm no bigger than you. I meet you on the level where you at. Y'all be blessed. Y'all take care. Let's continue to dominate 2026. Be the best version of yourself. If you find value in anything that I spoke about today, take what you want, leave what you want. But guess what? Show up tomorrow and vibe with me. Y'all have a blessed one. I love y'all. I'll see you later, fam.